Hello, welcome to Digital Signal Processing online lecture series. Myself Prima Rawal. Here in this session, we are going to see the examples on properties of discrete time system. In the previous session, we have seen the overview of the systems, and according to that, what are the properties to check for a given discrete time system. And now in this session, we are going to see the examples based on the properties of discrete time system. That means, according to system function given to us, we will see how we can find out or check the properties for the function. So let's start with that. So basically, in the last session, we have seen that there are 5 properties for a discrete time system. First one is static and dynamic system. Second one is time variant and time invariant system. Third one is linear and non-linear system. Next is causal and non-causal system. And the last one is stable and unstable system. We have seen the concept of each of these properties in the previous session. That means how we can check or how we can say that the given system is static or dynamic or linear or non-linear or so on. We have seen the concept or definition of these properties. Now let's start with the example. So here, first example we are considering this, in which the data is given to us is to determine if the given system is static or dynamic, linear or non-linear, time variant or time invariant, causal or non-causal, or stable or unstable. That means here it is asked us to check all the given properties for the system function, which is given over here is y of n, that is equals to x of n plus x of n plus 1. So now let's solve this. So for us the given system function is what? Y of n, that is equals to x of n plus x of n plus 1, right? Now let's see first property, that means whether it's static or dynamic. So to check whether the system is static or dynamic, we see that the output depends on present values only or it depends on future or past values. So if it depends only on present values of input, we call it a static system. Otherwise, if it includes any of the delay elements or the advance elements, that means if it depends on future or past values of the input, it is a dynamic system. So here, the first term is x of n, which indicates that it depends on the present values of input. But next one is x of n plus 1, that means the future values, that indicate the system is a dynamic system. Okay, that this system is not static. Now second property. Second is to check whether the given system is linear or non-linear. So for that, as we know that we need to perform 3 steps. First one is to consider 2 inputs separately. Why we need to do that? We need to check for a superposition theorem. So for that, we will take 2 inputs separately. Then we will give it to the system function and we will take the output. So for that, we have taken 2 inputs, x1 and x2. So according to the system function, y1 of n will be equals to x1 of n plus x1 of n plus 1. Then y2 of n, that means for the second input values, it will become x2 of n plus x2 of n plus 1. Now we will add this 2. So we will have y dash of n, that is equals to x1 of n plus x2 of n plus x1 of n plus 1 plus x2 of n plus 1. That means addition of all of these terms. Now step 2. Step 2 is that first we will add the 2 inputs and then we will give it to the system. In the first step, we have taken 2 inputs separately and applied to the system and then taken the addition. But here we will add these two inputs and then apply to the system. So what we will do, we will take x1 plus x2, that means addition of these two, we will apply to the transfer function. So our system function is x of n plus x of n plus 1. So here our y double dash of n will be equals to x1 of n plus x2 of n plus x1 of n plus 1 plus x2 of n plus 1. That means the addition will be same as the previous term. So we can say that the comparing these two values, that is y double dash of n and y dash of n, these terms are equal. That means the system is linear system. Okay. Now the third one. Third one is to check whether the system is time variant or time invariant system. So again for that we need to perform three steps. So first one is to give the input delay. That means we are delaying the input by k samples and we denote it as by n comma k. So here we will have x of n minus k plus x of n plus 1 minus k. Because we need to delay the input by k samples, so here our system function is x of n plus x of n plus 1. That means here x of n minus k and n plus 1 minus k. Now step number 2. Step number 2 states that we have to replace n by n minus k. So here y of n minus k will be equals to, wherever n is there, we need to give the delay, that is x of n minus k plus x of n minus k plus 1. As these two are equal, that means if we look at the second term, we can rearrange the equation and we can get n minus k plus 1, right? So these two terms are equal. So we can say that the system is time invariant. That means with time it does not change its output. Okay? If these two will not be equal, we will call it as time variant system. That means which varies with time. Okay? Now next property. That means whether the system is causal or non-causal. So we know the concept of causal system. It states that if the system depends on present or past values, it is a causal system. If it includes any of the future values, it will become a non-causal system. So here we can see that we have in the system function n plus 1. Okay, that means the system function which is given to us is x of n plus 1. So it indicates that it has the future samples. So we can say that the system is non-causal. Okay. Now next property is to check whether the system is stable or unstable. So it satisfies the condition, that is BIBO, bounded input and bounded output condition. That means here we do not have n term outside this bracket, that means outside the output function, which can make the system output infinite. That means the condition of BIBO states that if output becomes infinite for any of the values of input, then it becomes unstable. But for finite values of the input, the system will become finite. That's why it satisfies the condition of BIBO, which makes this system stable system. Okay? So these are the properties we have checked for the given system function. Now let's see the next example. So here in this example, it is asked us to check all the properties for the system function which is given as y of n, that is equals to x of 2n. Okay? That means we need to check all of the 5 properties for this system function. So first property is to check whether the system is static or dynamic. So to check whether it is static or dynamic, we know the concept of present values or past or future values, right? So here if we look at this, it indicates 2 into n. That means if I take the value of n that is equals to 2, the system function will become 2 into 2 x of 4. That means for n equals to 2, I need to check the value x of 4. That means it does not depend on the present value of n. That means for present value of n equals to 2, I need to check for the future value n equals to 4, which makes the system function dynamic. Okay, so this system is not static, it is a dynamic system. Second property is to check whether the system is linear or non-linear. So again, for this we are going to follow the steps. Step number 1 is what? To take the two inputs separately and then apply to the system. So we are considering two inputs x1 and x2, and if we apply to the system, we'll have x1 of 2n plus x2 of 2n. Right? Here we will have x2 of 2n. Now, if we apply this system differently, that means we give the two inputs differently and then check the output, we'll also have y double dash of n, that is equals to x1 of 2n plus x2 of 2n. That means these two are equal, which makes the system linear system. Okay? Now let's check the third property. That means whether the system is time variant or time invariant. So for that, first concept is what? We need to delay the input by k samples, and we will denote it as y and comma k. So here input is what? 2n. So 2n minus k, that is x of 2n minus k, is our first function, right? Now second is what? Second is wherever n are there, we need to place n minus k and according to that obtain the function. So here n is replaced by n minus k, right? So it will become 2 into n minus k. If we open this bracket, we will have 2n minus 2k. This will not be equals to this. So that's why we can call it as the system is time variant. That means it changes with time. Okay? Now fourth one. That means whether its system is causal or non-causal. So here in this function, as you can see, it includes the function which is twice of the input system, which makes the system non-causal. So next property is to check whether the system is causal or non-causal. So for that, if we observe the equation, we have x of 2n. That means, as we have checked for the static and dynamic system, it depends on the future values. And we know that if the system function includes the future values, it states that it is a non-causal system. Okay? And the last one is stable or unstable. So here, the system is stable system because it satisfies the bounded input, bounded output condition. That means for a finite set of values, output will be finite. Okay? I hope that these two examples are clear to you. You can take different systems, different transfer functions. According to that, you can check the properties of this by following the same concept. Okay? If the concept is clear to you, you will be able to identify or check the properties for any of the example given to you. Okay? This is a reference book you can refer to which may help you. Thank you. Thank you for listening.